Hiya guys, welcome back to Wentworthlife. It is Tuesday, so that means it is Wentworth episode review day. Before we get started guys, if you like these videos, please subscribe below, and just a quick warning, this video is going to contain massive spoilers, so please make sure that you are up to date with your episodes. Okay, so guys, in my opinion, I do feel that this was a bit of a filler episodes. But saying that, guys, filler episodes aren't all that bad, and this episode did sort of set things up slowly for the final two episodes. So let's get started. So you got Vera, Jake, and Will. They are all obviously traumatized by what they'd found the nights before. But during this episode, Vera ends up getting a text message saying, "I know what you did." So, three officers are quite worried and concerned and don't really know what to do until Vera gets another message saying 500 grand or I'll go to the police. So, of course, Jake is like trying to get Vera to pay this money by remortgaging a house and things. Because he doesn't want to go to jail. But Vera still is unsure what to do. This person behind the text messages hasn't exactly proven to them what they actually know yet, and Vera is hoping that it is going to be a bluff. But Jake's really annoying anyway, but he was extra annoying in this episode because he's constantly getting Will to speak to Vera and get her to pay the money. And in the end, Will ends up doing what we've all wanted to do, and he ends up headbutting Jake in the car park. Jake goes running to Vera, and Vera is just like, "Well, what do you want? Do you want sympathy or what?" And they start talking about who this possible stalker person could be, and it comes to Jake's attention that it could possibly be Channing. So either Jake is quite smart by coming to this, realization, or he's in on it. But that's something we'll talk a little bit about later. A huge part of this episode is the fallout of what happened to that Cherry Lee chick in the last episode. So Liz is having flashbacks about Cherry Lee, and she remembers overhearing someone, obviously Drago, whatever the hell her name is, but Liz isn't sure who the voice is, but she does definitely remember hearing Marie's name being mentioned. And right at the start of the episode, Liz practically says to Marie, "You hit Cherry," because Liz is still obviously confused about what's happened. So Marie goes straight over to Drago and is really, really angry. And Drago even offers to go and sort out this witness, but Marie says, "No, you've done enough. Let me handle this." Unfortunately for Boomer, Kaz and some of the other women think it was her, unfortunately. But this also gets Marie to plant a seed into Liz's head that Boomer hurt Cherry. Liz tells Marie that she has dementia, and Marie obviously uses this to her advantage. And I think, for a few moments there, Liz does believe that it could be Boomer. So Boomer ends up taking the blame, and until Liz remembers that, she remembers seeing Drago underneath the showers. So Liz goes to confront Marie, saying, "Look, I don't think it was Boomer. Boomer is innocent. I want you to tell me exactly what's happened." And Drago obviously hears all over that, hears this conversation, and she ends up following Liz to the shower to kill her. She actually comes at Liz with a massive knife, but luckily for Liz, Marie is there to stop her. So Liz is obviously terrified. She's got another maniac chasing her. It's like, oh, poor Liz, she's not very well. Can't she just deal with her illness in peace? Poor Liz. Also, in this episode, Ray ends up breaking up with Rita, and we ended up seeing a vulnerable side to Rita and Rita was obviously very upset. And I thought in a really nice, lovely scene, we got to see Ruby giving her shoulder to cry on for a change, and we saw Ruby looking after her big sister. So that was a nice little change around. I thought that was quite a sweet scene. Going back to Boomer just for a moment, before Boomer ends up taking the blame for what happened to Cherry Lee, Boomer finds out that she has a chance of an appeal. Sonia had set it up with her solicitor and I paid for it in advance. So Sonia's solicitor was actually following this up to try and get Boomer a chance of an appeal against her sentence. And I thought in an absolutely hilarious scene where Boomer goes into the dining room and tells all the women that Sonia was a good person, that Sonia is my angel, and she ends up sticking her finger right up in Kaz's face and tells her to suck it. And I thought it was an absolutely hilarious scene that only someone like Boomer could have done and got away with. Absolutely fantastic. Ruby's friend Shelley came in to visit her in prison, and Ruby ends up telling Shelley that the guy who raped her back at that party is dead, but she doesn't actually tell Shelley that she was responsible and she was the one that actually gave him the blow that killed him. And she also warns Shelley to keep a low profile as as Marie is actually tracking everybody down who was in that party and questioning them. And so obviously Ruby's happened to Shelley. Is Shelley in grave danger? I mean, the less that Shelley knows, the better, but it all depends on how far Marie's lynch mob are going to get the answers here. So I think that's going to be interesting. I think that's not the last time you've seen Shelley just yet. Another bigger part of this episode's storyline revolved around that young girl. I can never remember her name, but it was that girl that Marie was getting close to a few episodes back. Anyway, this girl starts to bring in drugs in for Marie, and Marie ends up giving some of these drugs, heroin, to the young girl as payment. And later in the episode, the girl ends up getting sick off the drugs, and it's later discovered that the heroin was actually laced with rat poison. And this got me thinking, did Marie lace this rat poison in the drugs, or was it already in the drugs because whoever was the delivery person knew it was going to Marie? And so essentially, was somebody trying to hurt Marie, is what I suppose I'm trying. Going back to Liz now, Marie offers Liz a way out, a way to basically kill herself while she's still in control of her mind. So Marie gives Liz some heroin, enough heroin to kill her so she won't wake up and won't be in pain anymore. Marie tries to paint a pretty picture to Liz, and Liz actually agrees. And in an emotional scene, while Liz is alone in her cell, she goes to inject herself, but luckily for Liz, Kaz walks in just in time. Kaz manages to get rid of the drugs, and Liz ends up telling Kaz it was Marie that gave her this way out. So Kaz goes straight to Marie to confront her, but actually overhears Marie bragging to Drago that Liz is going to be dead soon. She's going to be dead by the count. You've got nothing more to worry about. So Kaz goes back to the girl who was ill earlier, and she ends up getting the last of her heroin that is spiked with rat poison. Kaz goes into Marie's cell and actually swaps the rat poison with her drugs, so that when Marie goes to take a smoke of her drugs, she's obviously going to end up, getting harmed quite gravely, to be honest, even death. And later on, right at the end of the episode, Marie has collapsed, and I don't think she's actually breathing, leaving the episode on a massive cliffhanger with Drago pushing the panic button, Rita doing CPR, and Kaz looking smug about it. So, and just one other thing, guys, I forgot to mention. Jake actually realised that it could actually be Channing that's doing the stalking. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier, so just thought I'd better add that in. But yeah, guys, I do feel that this was a bit of a filler episode, but even though it was a filler episode, a lot still went on. And I think this is setting the rest of the season up now for episode 11 and episode 12. So this brings me on to rate this episode an 8 out of 10 in my opinion. The highlights for this episode for me was Boomer's funny outburst in the dining room, telling everybody to suck on it. Also, I really enjoyed Jake getting headbutted by Will. And I suppose another highlight for me is probably Kaz upping her game once again, because I do like bad Kaz, and I got a feeling we're going to see a lot of bad Kaz in the final 2 episodes. On the downside of this episode, I am so stressed out about this Stalker storyline. I just want to know what is going on now. I'm joining with some of the other fans that are just getting a little bit like, oh, we need to know some more information now. And I thought, after a fantastic episode last week, we were going to see a lot more of it this week. I thought maybe by the end of today's episode, we were going to find out who the Stalker was. No, they're making us wait another week. And we still don't know if we're going to find out next week. Oh, God, guys. And talking about spoilers for next week, so in the advert for next week, I can't believe I just said advert. Where the hell did that come from? I meant promo. The promo for next week. Okay, so it looks like it goes up a gear next week, the Stalker storyline, and I got a feeling we're going to finally start getting some answers. In the trailer, Vera is basically saying that we have to pay the ransom, otherwise we go to jail, our lives are ruined. I'm pretty sure I heard Channing's voice at the start of the promo. Anyway, Vera seems to be going to a deserted area where there's like shipping containers, and she ends up going inside one and seeing lots and lots of like newspaper clippings of Ferguson's escape, and you see somebody creep up behind Vera. Vera turns her head, and somebody grabs her, and I think it's a man. It looked like a man to me. I framed this moment in this promo quite a few times. It looks like a guy with hair. It looks like a much older guy. So unless it could be Channing and he's grown hair to put us off the scent, that's the only person that I can think it could be. It's going to be very interesting to find out what happens in this storyline. I'm itching to find out. I don't think I've ever been so stressed out. My brain has been going into overload this last week, trying to work it out. Like, who could it be? You know, it's got to be somebody. It's got to be something big, because they're saving it so close to the end of the final now. But that's pretty much what it showed in the promo. Obviously, we're going to find out whether if Marie survives or not. I can 100% tell you she does survive, just because we haven't had the Kaz and Marie showdown yet that they showed in one of the trailers. So we do have that to look forward to, and I got a feeling to see if it's going to be next week or in the final. We've also got the Ruby killing Danny storyline to be revealed. So we've still got so much going on. So many answers, and there's so many things to be revealed, and I've got a massive feeling it's just going to be all tied in now to these last 2 episodes with all these things to be revealed. Oh my god, I've got a feeling it's going to be quite an epic season final this year. I am very excited. I hope you guys are. Anyway, guys, what did you think about today's episode? Why not let me know in the comments box below? Is this Stalker storyline annoying you as much as it's annoying me? What did you enjoy about this episode? What did you hate about this episode? I'm really interested to know about your thoughts, guys, so please make sure you let me know in the comments box below. So that we've come to another end of episode review, guys. So I shall see you same time next week in regards to the episode reviews. Keep checking back to this channel as I am going to be doing some more theory videos and reviews, and maybe one or two top fives. So if you do enjoy these videos, guys, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.